I know we don't talk about Kanye West very often on this channel.
Nor do we have to. We could
And,
just avoid
well,
this altogether.
I want to give like the official I am done with this shit. And it really pains me to do so considering when we started with Kanye, he had all the fittings of a hero that you like to listen to in music at the very least for a lot of black kids, black teenagers. You know what I mean? Like, the college dropout, the graduation, the late registration era, like it almost felt like at times he was actually speaking for us. And then you got moments where, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Granted, he's not my hero, but like when it comes to music, he was at least a very central figure that you could be inspired by at some level, especially when you hear his story and the things that he came from. Everything for the most part kind of added up. He was at least somebody that you could look up to from that standpoint. And definitely from the musical standpoint, even if he didn't write his rhymes, he's one of the best producers ever in the hip hop industry. I'd given him multiple chances. I can't do that anymore. I'm completely out of chances to give him, especially considering obviously the recent rants, but then the tweet about Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids was obviously a step too far. What are you doing talking about niggas' kids? I'm hearing snippets of his music where he's like, well, how can I be like Hitler? I'm just a N-word, hard R. Dog, I'm so out. I'm
The
so
iced
out
out
on
swastika. You forgot about the iced out swastika.
Well, just wearing swastikas on his shirt and then, yeah, all of that. I'm out. I can't do it anymore.
Look, y'all. Kendrick Lamar had the greatest year of any rapper in the last 2 decades. No one in that 12-month span was thinking about what Kanye was doing, or even gave a shit. He put out a diss track in the middle of that beef, and nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cared. No one cared. 2 years ago, it was Drake Kanye beef, and that benefited Drake because it was yet another rap beef where it seemed like he was going to come out on top, and it was another, legend that he could kind of slide under his belt and make people forget about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except it lasted just long enough to spill over into something completely different that man wasn't prepared for. Now that's Drake's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But for Kanye, it was like, well, hold on, man. This is where I wanted to end up. This is where I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Kendrick slid in and took all of that momentum right away. Again, it was not that long ago that we was talking about Donda versus Certified Lover Boy.
Right.
That was what, 2 years ago?
Yep. And how we talked about how he won that concert like it was a versus.
So now let's slide all the way to where we are now, and it's like that shit never even happened.
Yeah.
That should never even happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Kanye is a person who does very well not being paid attention to. And I think every second that no one's paying attention to him, he's going to try to get louder and louder and louder and louder.
For sure.
Until somebody pays attention to him.
Yeah.
That's why he's taking the shots that he's taking. That's why he's swinging at Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's saying the things that get the craziest reactions from him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kanye West rapping about, poor black kids in the public school system. Nobody gives a fuck. Kanye West rapping about Jews. I'm sorry, what? What did he say? And he knows that. He knows it well enough to know that it's going to elicit reactions. Now, there's another element to this that no one seems to want to acknowledge or really talk about unless it's to their benefit. But it's the fact that the man's he's not well. Like he's very clearly not well. I think he's shown throughout the years that at least he goes through bats of mania where he doesn't necessarily have complete control of what's going on with him. And now, whether or not he actually feels the way that he's expressing, who am I to decipher that? I'm not in that man's brain, but I'm telling you, the actions he takes shows a person who doesn't have any control, who doesn't have any inhibitions.
Sure.
I
mean, unfortunately, it's caused him to alienate literally everybody.
Everybody.
Including his ex-wife and kids, and anybody who's worked with him. So, I mean, that's tough.
And
Though,
it's like, it's classic Kanye shit. Kim Kardashian is a sex trafficker. Well, maybe there's some validity to that. Her and her weird ass family, but you married her and had quite a few children with her. So
Yeah.
what the fuck? What am I supposed to say to you about that? Like, what am I supposed to do?
you were probably
You gave that
complicit.
sex trafficker a part of Yeezy.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say to that?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the machinations of a sane person.
No.
So it becomes very hard for me not only to take him seriously, but to judge his actions of a person who has full on autonomy of their own actions. I can't because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if this man is on another one of them rides or if this is just, true blue, honest Kanye. You can't know because quite honestly, I just don't know if there's anybody around him making sure that he's healthy. I think everybody's there along for the ride. So
I will say this, and this isn't exclusive to Kanye, because it seems like some other rappers and obviously celebrities are also kind of migrating this way. It's really weird that a lot of them seem to be catering towards this conservative, edgelord, incel population.
it's not that weird. It's not that weird.
Like
Trump's
even
president.
Drake himself is kind of appealing to that a little bit. And
Trump
like,
is presidente.
yeah, I mean, but it was happening before it was happening after he ran the first time. So I guess it's still in some relation to that.
Sure. I mean, I can't speak to when he made his manosphere evolution, but I would say that it has been definitely a growing popular sentiment amongst the young male youth here over the last few, let's say about 3 or 4 or 5 years or so since the Andrew Tates and the Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fits of the world. Now, most of that manosphere has dissipated. Most of the content creators of that
Have been jailed, demonetized, passed.
they're done. So now it's interesting who scoops them up, right? Because that fan base still exists, that marketplace still exists.
Yep.
Who wrangles them together? Maybe that's his calculus in that. Maybe I can replace the fans that I lost with this whole rap beef thing with the incels.
I also don't understand how you're supposing you're a Nazi, but then you're claiming that Drake actually won the beef. How does that make sense?
Yeah, no, but and so
I guess
like
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Nothing he says makes sense.
Yikes!
I just can't. I can't take it serious, bro.
I can't take any of it serious, and I wasn't supporting it for the longest, but I can't support it any longer either. So I'm definitely out on the whole Kanye thing.